I was going to say that the fact that I mean, obviously people who sin and who know that sin is sin, they're going to deal with some level of guilt and shame, and not all of the responsibility is on the church. But there's no doubt in my mind that churches can do a better job of saying, we can clearly say this is sin, this is God's intention for sex and for marriage and for life and all of that, and still make clear that, hey, if you find yourself in this situation, you come here first. This is the first place that you go, and you know that you can receive love and care and help and even funds and protection if you need it. That should be the first place of refuge that a young woman understands that she can go and be loved and cared for. And I think you're right. I think a lot of churches, maybe they don't outright say from the pulpit, hey, if you get pregnant outside of marriage, you're not welcome here. But also the silence, I would say, the silence about this subject, I would say, is also complicity, that there's not an outright statement of saying this is the refuge that you can come to if you are in trouble. So I absolutely agree with that.
And we look at what's happening. I mean, look, the highest ordered bishop in the Episcopal Church is now the head of the National Abortion Federation.
Wow.
You've got the United Methodist Church that has for years been accepting of abortion. There are many unorthodox Judaism accepting of abortion. You go to abortion clinics, and many times you see clergy as the volunteer escorts. You see clergy with their collars on, escorting women from their cars to the abortion clinic for them to have an abortion. We were trained in the clinic how to overcome religious objections. So if a woman came to us and maybe she had been raised in a church and she knew, abortion is wrong. She comes to us and she says, I don't know, I just feel like abortion is a sin. I feel like, I don't know if God's going to forgive me. Our scripted response to give back to her was, well, don't you think that God is a forgiving God?
Wow.
And she'd say, yes. And we would say, don't you think that God understands your situation and that you're trying to make the best decision for your family? Well, yes. Wow. So even though people can be raised knowing that truth, when you have religious leaders across the world accepting of abortion, escorting women in to have abortions, heading up abortion organizations, national abortion organizations, it is actually very easy to say, hey guys, we have a problem within the church.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right? We haven't done enough. We haven't spoken up enough. It's very easy to justify sin when you are in a moment of crisis.
Mm-hmm.